Hey guys, it's me, EODGamer here, and in this video, I'm going to be doing my 2.4 predictions for what's going to come ahead for us to make a guess as well. Some of us like this kind of concept. We've been doing this really long for other gacha games, and this is the second time we're doing this for Wuthering Waves. Now, before we go into our 2.4 predictions, let's take a recap on how we have predicted and some things that have changed based on the statistics that we have with the 2.3 information that we just got from the live stream. So of course, we did predict quite accurately the characters that we guessed. They did come out. Like we mentioned, Chien most likely is going to come out. He did come out. We guessed Carlotta as well as Rocky are going to come out in the second half for their first rerun. That also kind of played through. But then again, to be really honest, because of the anniversary, 12 characters coming back in total, 6 on each half, you pretty much could have gotten anything just by throwing a rock anywhere. The thunders are roaring in the background because they are outraged at how many characters are coming back. If you are a free-to-play player, man, there's a lot of characters that we're going to have to be pulling as well, the resources that we have. But it's of course as expected that a lot of characters will be coming back for the anniversary. Just that I really didn't expect that many, but means that next year we probably should prepare more resources for the anniversary as well, because a lot of characters could be coming back next year too. So that's a trend. Apart from this, we did pretty quite well, but of course, again, a lot of characters came back, so I wouldn't say it's a great statistic to go by. But more importantly, we did get some critical information from 2.3, and let's talk about some statistics that we have. First of all, it's the first time a character ever came back for their second rerun. We have it coded here in RR2, so it's very easy for us to see how many reruns a character has. So RR2 means like rerun 2, RR1 means rerun, the first ever rerun. So we have our initial characters all coming back for their second rerun in the anniversary patch. So we can expect that these characters might take a much longer time coming back for their third rerun. Third rerun meaning the fourth appearance in a banner, whereas your other characters might be placed at a slightly higher priority. Because after the anniversary, most of us are going to be drained out of resources. My expectation is 2.4 might be a more muted in terms of the number of banners, because players will probably have spent a lot for anniversary as well, together with the top-up reset, which we have a video on the channel teaching us how we can actually save some money on top-up. If you guys are pay to win, you want to save some money on that, check that video out as well. But anyways, important statistic. Some of the characters that are reportedly back very fast in 2.3, for example, like Bren and Phoebe, which are really, really fast cycles. 3 cycles for Phoebe, 3 cycles for Bren. This is not a new thing, because we actually had this before with Xiang Yao, so it doesn't really throw off the data. What this kind of tells us is that if you miss a character, there is a high chance that it could come back in 3 banners time, really, really fast. So you might want to save like some resources for that. 3 banners is 3 weeks multiplied by 3, 9 weeks in total, which is about 60 days thereabouts. 60 days of saving, 2 months approximately, if my math doesn't fail me. Over here, so the range between the characters coming back for their first rerun, if you miss a character, maybe you miss Zani and maybe you miss Kakona because you just wanted a lot of the previous characters, you wanted to get them. On average, we should be expecting Zani as well as Kakona to come back between 3 to 9 patches. On average, it's about 5.6, which gives us about 120 days or 4 months, give or take, to save up for their reruns. So in my opinion, if you are trying to pull newer characters and you miss them, you shouldn't be too sad, because they're likely going to come back quite fast. The longest characters that take the longest time to come back was, of course, for their first ever rerun, was of course Changli, as well as Shorekeeper, who took 8 patches and 9 patches respectively. So if you are looking for maybe Zani, for example, she might come back in 8 patches or 9 patches maximum based on the trend that we are seeing. So important statistic out of the way, let's do our predictions. As we mentioned, 2.3 is going to drain a lot of wallets already if you are waiting for characters. My opinion is that 2.4, let me just put it here so that I can record it down. 2.4 is likely going to be a muted banner. Players broke. That's my prediction. Probably, it makes no sense for them to do like a double-double over here, because also a lot of characters have already had their reruns. Likely, they are not going to put in new characters. Looks like this is a bit too large for the screen. But yeah, so I do think that it's going to be a muted banner. Probably 2 new characters, maybe 1 rerun or 2 reruns and 1 new character. Depends on how they want to play it. So muted banner, players are broke. Anniversary is just too draining. Out of all of these characters, in my opinion, the most likely chance of a character coming back, there are two candidates. One, of course, is the Cantarella. who hasn't had her first rerun yet. Apart from Cantarella, every other character has had their first rerun. It's also in line. You could see Cantarella coming back in like 4 patches because that is in line with like the range that we have, 3 to 9. But I don't think that they will bring back Cantarella so quickly. In fact, another character that is probably going to be more likely is going to be Camellia. I think Camellia looks quite interesting because if you look at the second reruns, out of all the previous characters that you had their second reruns, it's all the way up to Xiang Yao with a range between 3 banners for the second rerun to 8 banners for the second rerun for Chien. So Camellia definitely has a chance of coming back in 2.4, and my honest guess, she'll probably appear in the second half of 2.4, and that's going to be my predictions instead of Cantarella. But if they do a new character just one new character, my guess probably might be a Cantarella rerun, either here or here, and then they put like one new character, like one new character here. If it's like 1 or 2. So if it's a 1 character new rerun, then likely this is probably going to be the lineup for the cast. But that's my guess. I think it's going to be a muted banner. Likely maybe 1 new character or maybe 2 new characters. Who knows? It's up to them. But anyways, guys, if you found this video insightful, you want to make your predictions as well, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. We can always revisit this in future to see how accurate we are. If you like such format, we'll likely be doing this more in future too. So stay tuned to the channel. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications, and see you guys in the next video.